The national media is really starting to show some love to the Chicago Bears after this year's offseason, y'all. But there's still a couple moves left to be made, I think. Y'all want to talk about it? Keep it locked. Welcome back, everybody, to another all new edition of CHI Go Bears. As always, it's your boy John Jay, and with me once again is my dog, D Snow from the Go. What's going on, Cuzzo?
Hey, smelling sweet like a Sunday morning dew, baby. Just excited about football, man. Just moving on. A lot going on in life. Before we get the show all the way started I want to make sure that we show a little love and send some prayers and some shouts out to one of our buddies, Jerron Burnett. His father passed, Donald Burnett, a big person in our lives growing up, a big sports guy, too. He really pushed sports on us, and we're gonna miss him. RIP to Donald Burnett. I want to make sure I gave him a little love before we started the show because he was like, man, like an aunt to us for real. So, man, shout out to the
Absolutely.
family.
Absolutely. Somebody that played a huge part into who we are today.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir. Love you,
gone but
Don.
never
Forever.
forgotten.
Forever,
Gone but
man.
never forgotten, no
Yes,
doubt.
sir. Big Don.
But aside from that, D Snow, man, the Chicago Bears have been in the have garnered the attention of the national media quite a bit this offseason. People are really loving the moves that have been made between the new head coach and Ben Johnson to the free agency additions and the draft. Um, but it's really now it's time to produce, D Snow.
Hmm.
We're looking at it with bright eyes, but that's all we can do because it's
Right.
the off season. But it's
Of course.
another supposedly successful off season, but we really need to see some production now.
Yeah.
But we even got and I didn't mention this beforehand. I know we talked about power rankings for the NFL, but
Hmm.
also I noticed NFL.com is giving the Bears an elite grade for the draft. Um, they were the third best ranked draft according to the NFL for the whole league. So it's interesting to see the just the love and admiration that the Bears have been garnering this offseason. Do you know how do you feel about that?
I mean, Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles put on the show for the draft, man. They went out there and, like we talked about before, they filled holes. They filled holes we didn't need to fill. We got a couple of guys that we taking shots at. I mean, it's great to see the position that the Bears as a team is in. I mean, and being honest, as a Cub fan that thought we would never win a World Series in my lifetime, just being honest. I mean, this kind of reminds me when the Cubs were starting to turn things around where it took a couple of years to get that farm system right, to get the right coaching in place, get the right leaders in place. But once it got cracking and it got clicking, everything went right to a championship. And that's what I'm starting to see from the Bears. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to put too much pressure on them, but the pressure's there at this point. The pressure's there. I mean, I'm excited and I love what they're doing. And hey, like we said, we're going from days when all they did was make fun of the Chicago Bears to now it's nothing but great things about the Bears, the moves they're making, the people they're adding, the coaches they're adding. So this is what we wake up every morning for, excited as a Bear fan these days. It's nice to not only just root because we're Bear fans, but to root because we think we're gonna win.
Yeah, absolutely. Although we still getting now we're getting fan hate from
Of
across the
course.
league, which
Of
is a good
course.
thing. D Snow,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how everyone else is like, yeah, whatever. They starting to hate on the attention we got. That means there's some level of success there.
Yeah,
But we have to back it up with wins.
of course,
We'll
of course.
never be recognized until we get some real wins. But um, I thought it was interesting to see some of the power rankings, and I know there'll be more to come out. And again, this is early. I know what people are thinking, oh, they ain't did nothing yet. They hyping it up. But this is the off season. This is what there is to do right
We're
now.
two and a half months away from training camp, so we can have some preseason games. We are not far away. Something's gonna blow by watch.
It will. It sure enough will. But I thought it was interesting. I got a couple rankings here.
Okay.
CBS Sports and NFL.com, they just updated their rankings.
Okay.
And CBS Sports has the Bears at number 17 in power rankings, which is actually up 7 spots.
Huh?
Um, and then NFL has the Bears at number 16.
Okay.
So both of these national publications got us right smack dab in the middle,
Okay.
um, based off of this offseason, which is interesting. And if I'm being honest, I personally kind of have to agree with the rankings just because you had such a terrible offseason. It's amazing that you can get up to the
Yeah.
halfway point in the power rankings.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's just shows how good this offseason was. But what do you think about those numbers, D Snow?
I mean, what a change of directions when it comes to the Chicago Bears. I mean, if you remember, we're a team that started out, with hard knocks last season. We were all riding that high. It seemed like we were really gonna, maybe we started out like 4-2. The team was
Yep.
playing pretty decent. I mean, we had a lot of expectations. It was starting to get exciting around here, and then all of a sudden, and then it was just crash after crash after crash. I mean, we were giving guys chances at the coaching position. We was trying out guys at the grocery store on the offensive line. it was getting crazy. It went from us being excited about the Bears to, oh, here we go again. It's the same Bears team. So to see that all of the talking heads and all of the so-called, know-it-alls are saying that we are, I mean, even top 15, that's a very nice, exciting thing to
Well,
see as a
just
Bears
under it.
fan. That, you say it's under 15?
16 and 17 on these two.
Okay, 16 and 17. Okay, because
So
I know when
just
I looked
under.
at, they had them in like 11 or 12 or something, but
There's a
still,
couple different ones, yeah.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is, um, like we talked about, and I'm gonna talk about this every single time we have a show. The trenches. We address the trenches, man. And we not only bought in, rookies, but we bought in some vets, guys that's been doing this. So I can't wait to see them put it all together, man, so we can see what this Bears team can be.
Yeah, no doubt. And just before we went, right before we started recording, I was watching CBS Sports latest episode from earlier today, and
Okay.
or it might have been yesterday, but it had all of the off-season grades in
Okay.
totality for each of the teams, and the Bears had an A+ off-season grade. Bears had the best
Wow.
off-season grade of the NFC North, and I think that's an interesting one too, D Snow. Who do you think had the better offseason of the NFC North? I think it absolutely was the Bears, but I also think we have the farthest way to climb.
Of course, of course.
But what do you foresee happening for the Bears in this NFC North with the additions? What type of movement do you see? Do you still see us at the floor of the North?
I don't want to be a homer because it's hard not to be. But I mean, I'm screaming it right now. I might get a shirt made. Worst to first. I really see a worst to first situation coming because we're going to be fresh. We're going to be running a lot of different plays. On offense is going to be all over the place. The defense is going to be flying around. I really think we have a chance to be best in our division next year. Detroit, by losing Ben Johnson, that is not addition by subtraction. Them losing Ben
Yeah.
Johnson is a big hit. Excuse me. And then losing him to somebody in a division like the Chicago Bears, who gonna use him to make sure that we turn this rivalry back around, where we are beating them. Just like I love doing the draft when my man got up there, Seth, and was like, hey, Caleb Williams, hey, he is undefeated against the Packers. That is,
In Green Bay, not
hey,
against the Packers.
yeah, in Green Bay, you know what I'm saying? But that means a lot. Ain't another Chicago quarterback that can say that, But I'm excited. I think that we do have a chance to be in the top two. I think, if things go the way they can and we play well and we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, we can end up at first, man. We could go worst to first. I mean, look at Minnesota last year. Minnesota food. I mean, out of the gate, that was crazy how well they played. And this is behind Kirk Cousins. Yes, he does have studs at the wide receivers with, Jefferson and the other kid, but hey, they really, man, they played a very good balance of defense and offense. and just man, things fell in place when they needed it to. They got lucky. Sometimes you got to get a little lucky in football, and that's what the Bears. It's time for us to get a little bit of that luck. And I think this is gonna be our year, man. 24-25.
Yeah, I would have to say, with the additions that were made, the potential from worst to first is there.
Mhm.
But projection wise, coming into the season, with us having still been untested, unproven,
Okay.
this has been Johnson's first go around as a head coach. You expect it to be really good, but he hasn't led the entire locker room yet.
Okay.
Um, so I think that you still would have to rank us coming in at the bottom of the
Okay.
North because of that. Um, like I say, the potential I think is there from worst to first. I
All right.
like it.
Come
I
on,
think
John.
roster wise, I
Come on,
think it's going.
JJ. Give me something, man. How many wins next year for the
Well,
Bears? How many wins?
hold on. I'm not there yet. I'm not there
I'm
yet.
getting ahead of. All right. All
I'm
right.
not there yet. But
Okay.
I
Okay.
think the potential is still there
Okay.
um, to go from worst to first. I definitely like that. But I think the Minnesota Vikings um, coach Kevin O'Connell has proven himself
Mhm.
to be a quarterback whisperer. I mean, he had what's his name, the rocket scientist Dobbs come in with what 2-3 days
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah,
on
he
the
turned.
squad and aired
Do-
it out. Like
Dobbs pulled the what's my man name? New York. Jeremy Lin. I'm real. It was like that.
ooh,
It was a Jerry.
Linsanity,
Hey, Dobbs pulled a Jerry. Bro, think about it. That's all we were talking about every week. They were doing stories on him, talking about his background. All of a sudden, he back a third string. You ain't heard nothing about that dude no more.
yeah.
He had a nice
But
little
that's
run though.
just how good
Yeah, coaching
Kevin
matters in the
O'Connell
NFL.
is.
Yeah.
So you would have to think that he's going to be able to get the best out of JJ McCarthy.
Hmm.
Although I would admit that is the one unproven for the Vikings.
Yeah.
But they had a big offseason too. I got to give some credit to that because they got about 3 new additions on their offensive line, some
Because JJ
defensive
coming off an
line
ACL
guys.
test, so who's starting for them?
Who's coming off?
Oh yeah, I forgot. They got no, he moved.
You
Who they
talking
who do
who,
who's starting for Minnesota? Because JJ coming off of ACL, right?
JJ? I
McCarthy.
think is JJ will be ready. JJ is ready. He should be ready. But yeah, I think that he'll be able to get the most out of that team. Plus, they have some nice additions. The Detroit Lions, I agree. The coaching is going to hurt them. I think that's going to bring them back a little bit.
Mhm.
I like the addition in the draft of Tyleek Williams out of Ohio State. He is a run stuffer. Um, but I think losing both coaches, offense and defense. I heard someone compare it to Philly after the year after they went to the Super Bowl. They got rid of both coaches
Yeah,
and did not have a good year.
yeah.
Um, and then they
For the
reset
Super
the
Bowl.
board again with the
Yeah,
coaches this year and went to the Super Bowl.
yeah.
So it could be a situation like that where losing both your offensive and defensive coach and Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn might hurt them tremendously.
Tremendously. That's a
Um,
big. That's big, especially with them. They've had nothing but upward momentum every year. To
mhm.
lose, that's tough. I want to see how I want to see how they're going to react to that.
Same, because the roster is still there, and there are young pieces that are still ascending, so that should help. And then Green Bay, more additions. They finally went receiver in the first
In the
round
first
in 20
round.
years. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I already thought they had crazy receiver depth, though.
Hey, and no
But
love for the Packers ever, but shout out to the kid that waited third round just so he can get a chance to go on the stage. That was a pretty cool moment. I can't lie,
yeah, yeah,
because you want your moment, and that was
yeah,
pretty
the
cool.
Texas kid.
Yeah.
Um, So I think they all had good off seasons. I do think the Bears had the better off season.
Mhm.
Now you want me to project wins and losses? Honestly, that's something I wanted to wait until the
Okay, we can
schedule
wait.
release.
We can wait. We can wait. Because that
I
would be
want to see
better. So
that's
because
the
we yeah
schedule
just cause,
release
yeah we just
thing
basically blind
because I want
like
to
we
look
playing
at
cards.
each. I want to look week by week and then
Okay.
Purdue it.
Okay.
And the schedule releases the 14th, May
Okay.
14th. Uh, so that's a long carrot to dangle out
Okay. Okay.
there.
Yeah.
But
Cause that's just blind. That's just blind bidding.
I do think that they should be in playoff contention.
Okay.
I do. That is my
You
expectation for the
thinking wild
season.
card.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they should at least be able to compete. I think this is the division that each one of these teams should make it in.
Okay.
But yeah, but moving on, because one other thing I want to talk about is potential additions.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about Nick Chubb in the last episode, but also another name that they're interested in, and I'm interested in, is J.K. Dobbins. So I want to take a look at the two running backs, D Snow, and just a breakdown of who would you be interested in. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, please don't forget to drop a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, because why haven't you? It's free. It means the world to us, and it don't take nothing from you but a second. But yeah, these running backs, these Snow.
Yeah.
First off, do you have a favorite? J.K. Dobbins or Nick Chubb? And mind you, keep in mind, whoever you bring in is probably not a long-term deal. It's probably a
Of course.
one-year prove-it
Of
deal
course.
for
Of course.
whoever you bring in.
So I mean, let's compare them first. I mean, hey, J.K. is the younger one. We know when
Yep,
it comes to running backs, that
26.
matters. How many miles you got, how many times you've already chucked that ball. So that does matter. Um, they are both really good players. J.K. had a pretty decent season, last year for San Diego.
Both come
We
off
all know Chubb
injuries.
came off that disgusting injury. That was one of those ones you didn't want
L.A.
to watch, huh?
L.A. Not San
I'm
Diego.
sorry, Elliot. Yeah,
Remember that? Yeah,
Hey, I'm
we should
old,
do like
y'all. Hey,
a
I'm old
virtual
school.
a virtual coin in a hat for any time we say Oakland or San Diego.
It happens. It happens.
It's gonna keep happening. I know. I'm just
It's just too much going on out there in California. All right,
yeah.
but yeah, so basically, you know, Chubb is the guy that I like the most, no doubt about it. I've
Okay.
always been a Chubb fan. I love watching his workout videos. He's a kid that loves football. He stays in the gym. He stays working out. These injuries, yes, they hurt as a football player, but he's the guy that's going to go in there and rehab like you're supposed to and come back. I think behind this line that we just produced with this type of offense that we're going to run, I think he'd look really good with us. This would be a chance for us to really, really have that bruiser guy that doesn't have to use a lot. We drafted a young guy. We have, we have I don't know why I always but
Manungai,
no, none guy's a young
Roshan,
guy. Swift.
Roshan,
We got
oh
Swift.
Swift.
But hey, and like I told you, if we bring in Chubb, I think Roshan's the gonna be the guy out. Nothing against Roshan. I really think he played hard for us last year. He showed some spurts, but we need more than spurts. We need a guy that's just gonna give
I
us some
think
big
it'll be
playability.
Travis Homer.
I keep forgetting about that other guy.
We
So you
because we
think we
had
might? So
four.
you think we might carry four?
I do because
Okay.
that's a bruising position.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
should
it
carry
is,
four.
man. But I really think that Chubb, if he wants to have a chance at winning and wants to come into a situation where he can turn his name around, I think this is the spot. Because this will give him an opportunity where the offense is where it needs to be. They're not asking him to be the one and all and to do everything. Plus, now you're coming up under the offensive scheme where he's going to be running a lot of gadgets to get so many people open that they won't be able to key in on a guy like him. But yeah, I like JK. I don't think it's a bad choice if we got to go with him. Another guy that had an ACL. But I think no matter what, we can't go wrong with either one of them. But I would go Chubb, man. Strong guy. I would love to see him in a Bears uniform, man, crushing some dudes, running dudes over like I've seen him done for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. If it was more of a long term
Yeah,
thing, I think maybe JK because of the age. We talking about both of these guys can bring a lot to a running
yeah,
game.
yeah,
J.K. Dobbins is somebody that averages what close to 5 yards a carry for his career. Let me look.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he
five point
rushed
two.
in 13 games. He rushed 195 times for 905 yards last year. That's pretty
Yeah,
decent.
but
Now he'd have got 1,000 if he'd have played the whole season.
and he's 4 years into his career, he's averaging 5.2 yards per carry
Now
for
JK's a
per week.
stud. And without the
Um,
injuries, he's probably still where he got drafted. The kid he can play. It's just those injuries, man, and running backs. We know how they do them.
yeah, and someone is used to playing in a dual threat role. Actually, both of these guys are
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Um,
Because they
but
ran out
yeah,
of with
Dobbins started off as the
yeah.
backup.
They did
Uh,
that with Ford and him. They did the two backs and stuff a lot over there.
Yeah, when Dobbins started off as the backup, then finally got his chance at being the number one guy last year and did
Okay.
really good. Got injured though, so both of these guys are coming off of injuries. And Nick Chubb 5.1 yards a carry for his career. So J.K. Dobbins is a little bit more um per carry, just point 0.1,
Okay.
but way longer of a career out of Nick Chubb. So, can J.K. stay there by the
Yeah.
time he's played the amount of games Nick Chubb has? We're
Yeah.
talking about a former rushing leader.
Yeah.
Um, 6,800 yards. If the injury, if he is fully healed from the injury, maybe this can turn into a long term thing.
He
And
didn't look bad at the end of
then
last season.
you're looking at next season, maybe Swift gone, and then bringing in a speedster in the draft to pair with Chubb instead next year. Um, but yeah, I like the idea of Nick Chubb. I think the potential is bigger. He's a little bit bigger. Both guys are more of a power back type of runners, but Chubb is a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger.
Hmm.
Um, and he's done it in that AFC North. Both guys have done it in the AFC North, but
Yeah.
Chubb has done it for a long time, and he's been at the top
Mhm.
of the food chain in that division. Um,
Yeah, he's used to those black and blue battles, so he fit well in our division, man. With us, I think he'd be a great addition. Hopefully, they outwarn him, and hopefully, his heart is coming in this direction because I think he'd be a great fit. I think he would
yeah,
be a great fit. I would love to see him back there.
yeah, put them two bulldogs together, him and Swift. Yeah, have a Georgia Bulldog run backfield.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, ladies and gentlemen, give us your thoughts. Who do you want to see? Who would you prefer?
Yeah,
In addition to that, though, also D Snow, I wouldn't mind seeing bringing in an edge rusher. Zadarius White was with the Lions last year. Bring him, bring him in. Keep him
yeah.
in the NFC North another go round. I want to see a little bit more pressure coming off that edge.
I wouldn't mind Von Miller. He's still out there.
There you go.
You know, at the
There you
right
go.
price, I think he'd look good. He he. I mean, you saw him even last season. He just
Absolutely.
disrupts backfields, man.
I would
he
absolutely love the addition of Von Miller. I would put that
Yes.
ahead of White. Honestly, that's a good call.
He would bolster our defense and make us look a lot better on third down. Man,
Yeah, Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson are both on record as saying that they are looking to win. This is not a wait and see. Let's build it. They are looking to win now. They are ready to
bring
compete
in
now.
Vaughn,
So that is the type of move
bring
that you
in
make for
Chubb.
that.
Now we got vets. Ooh, those two vets would look good with what we have right now. That's what we missing. Two Grizzly vets that have been around the block a little bit but can still play. You need that. You need those guys out there. It's important. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, where do you rank the Bears uh, after the offseason additions? And again, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to this thing and share with all your Bears
Please.
fan friends. Let them know this is the place to be. They talking that
Sirski.
talk, and they just like us, just like us. But D Snow, anything else before we wrap this thing up, man?
Oh yeah, before I get out of here, from what I've been seeing in the news and in the rumor mill, it looks like the Bears organization is finding out real fast that it is not easy to deal with the city of Chicago. Bears fans, look like Arlington is going to be that spot. I'm about ready to put my stamp on it from what I'm hearing and seeing. But that's what Chicago, y'all got to quit being so greedy. Everybody want their hands in somebody's pocket. Everybody want to taste. Everybody got to get their palms greased. And that's why y'all get ready to lose the longest standing team that y'all have had in Chicago history. The Bears are a staple of Chicago, and now they're going to be in the suburbs like a lot of these other teams because y'all didn't know how to say, we got enough. Y'all wanted more. Y'all wanted more. Hey, it is what it is, though. I can't wait to see that brand new stadium out in Arlington, but it looks like that's the direction that we're going, man.
Yeah, and one more other thing in a note from me too is the new offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle. O'Doyle rules. O'Doyle rules. But Declan Doyle gave an interview on Bears.com, and one thing he mentioned was what I said at the live draft was they did not expect Burton to be there. They were totally shocked, and they had to make that pick.
Okay.
Um, and then maybe we'll talk more about his interview next time we meet up. He had a lot of things to say about how they plan to use these offensive draft picks. So keep it locked on
Yeah.
CHI Go Bears if we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Um, But yes, Cersei, as always, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely appreciate y'all stopping by and showing us some love. And from us here at CHI Go Bears, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we'll holler.
Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs,
Yes,
go! Still in
sir. Go
first place,
Cubs,
baby.
go.
Let's keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. Go Cubs, go. And as always, better. Peace.
Hey, stay dangerous, Chicago. We love y'all. Peace out.
Yes, sir.